Oh my goodness.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. The 2 ferns are
That
in place.
yes.
Your camera's on. We're live. Yes, yay. Good. What nice ferns you have. I have to ask because I have been doing a lot of gardening today, which is usually what I do if I'm not running. And I have been wanting to have a lot more plants like in the house. Um, and I don't want fake plants.
Yeah, I get that.
So, are your ferns real or fake?
These
Uh-oh.
guys are very fake, but I do love real plants. I have some I'm not gonna, yeah, pan over them to them right now. It's just like
Oh.
I have a combo because I like yeah, I like having sometimes a good fake plant, like, helps the space and, like, you don't have
Oh,
to
yeah.
this
No, you
the
need the
sun,
green, and sometimes, like, whatever, the real one's just gonna die, and
yeah.
so I understand this, and I'm a
Mhm.
little bit I'm interested to see how I do because I am quadrupling the amount of live plants that I currently have in the house, and
I do that
I'll have
every
to
spring.
see.
I end up going to and just buying a bunch or, like, last year I did a bunch with, like, seeds, and I have, like, a grow light and was like and so, like and I go through these phases, and then some of them live, some of them don't, and it's tough.
You wind up with a big one,
That time
okay.
of year, though, to get them for sure.
We we took a dip, we got big in Texas, like 90s, and it's
Mhm.
been like 70 today, so I've just been outside, and you just go to one of these nurseries, and plants are like babies to me. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute."
Totally,
Like, they're
totally.
all plant-based, so I just had to take them all home.
Let me adopt you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got a lot of very cute plants, and we'll see how it goes, and eventually to replace them with fake ones if it doesn't go well, but I'm gonna try.
Well, yeah, but that's a fun thing to do. I love it.
Okay, well, hello, Sarah. Welcome to the
Hello.
Drop Bag Podcast. It's official. We're starting. Sarah's got her 2 fake furs beside her, which look
No,
great. They
she
look
does
great.
have real plants, let that be known for the
Okay,
record.
yes,
These are
there are real
just
plants, just not those
yeah,
ones. Good.
just not these.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
They're still
Here we
loved,
are.
so we don't
Okay.
they have feelings, just not as much
Oh,
as a real
yeah.
plant. Yeah.
They had feelings at one point. They don't anymore.
Oh, no.
Okay. Let's screw our heads on straight here.
Okay.
We got a little confused about the time zone difference. There's a time zone difference between Texas and New Mexico, but we're on. We got the
And,
math.
usually someone who has a degree in math and computer science could probably get this right, but, like, we can't
Oh, yeah.
always be smart, like, sometimes you
Especially
make
not on the spot. Like, there's a lot of on the spot moments here. And so, you know,
yeah. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm thinking I had 2 more hours, and so, yeah, I am sorry, Kelly,
hey,
for
well,
being
we're
a
going to,
little
no,
disheveled.
you are great. I'm just pumped that you could hop on because
Yeah.
I do not have 2 more hours. Here we are. So we're going to do
Good,
this.
good.
Let's start off with I had a really exciting week of running. I was also thinking last time we were talking, we kind of hinted at maybe having some new shoes in our gearbox, and so I was
Mm,
wondering, do you have any like new gear slash shoes or maybe clothes? Because like I've been kind of waiting a little bit as well to buy some summer running apparel because it doesn't
mhm,
seem like it's quite out yet. Like I want
mhm.
it, but everywhere I go, it's it's like either sold out from last summer. I don't know. Like everywhere I go, I keep getting sold out things
Huh.
on like kind of
Yeah.
summery. So I don't know. Do you have any like summer clothing tips or new shoes? Have you had some new shoes that you've been liking since we talked
Well,
last?
in the last 2 weeks, yes.
Well, like since even
Or
since we did our shoe review, because
yeah, well, I think I said on that one also, like, my guilty pleasure is shoes. I
Uh,
love
so I want you
recently
to give
learning
us
about shoes. So,
1 or
yes,
2.
I
Yes.
have new children since we talked about the, no, I well, s okay, so my latest one I'm experimenting with is, okay, so, um, I like so I have a lot of different brands, but I do really like the New Balance trainers, just like the 1080. I liked, the More V4. It's a little too chonky for me now, like the 5 and 6, but, um, anyway, so I really enjoy I think since last time we chatted, I yeah, I have a new 1080, which I really like. I think it's a V14. But anyway, I don't know if you remember, did you ever see anything about New Balance came out with a SC Trail V1 like a few years ago. Do you remember about that?
No. I have never
Okay.
worn New Balance on the trail.
Okay. Yeah, and so anyway, so I had put them on, like so this was a couple years ago now, and, like, I don't know, they make such great shoes, but
Mhm.
that the upper on that V1 was, like, I don't know, it just I mean, I think some people really liked it, but for me, it just, like there was no structure in the midfoot, and so it was, like, I was just, falling forward, like, my foot towards the front, and just did not work for my foot. Anyway, so I was like, "Okay, I can't I don't wanna get these." And, but anyway, was looking on REI and, like, I was trying to see what new shoes there are, and this was, like, a few weeks ago or a month ago or so, and I was scrolling and I saw that the New Balance SC Trail V2 came out, and I was like, "Wait, why has there not been any, like, marketing about this?" Like, looking at the visuals for it, it's a huge update. Like, visually, you can just tell the upper is structured differently. It just looks like a totally different shoe. Anyway, so it finally just came in the mail last week, which is awesome, and,
Yeah.
or a few actually, like, 2 or 3 days ago. Anyway, so I did my first run just to see if they even, like, worked on my feet, like, on the treadmill, not to get them dirty, and, but I'm excited, like, the structure is, like, definitely better, um, and I mean, actually tomorrow, I think I'm gonna take them out, for a long run on the trails and, yes, see how they feel, but, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. So that's my new toy. Um, so, yeah, I'm stoked.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Okay.
I feel like I am not very good about buying maybe any shoe online
Okay.
because I don't really know like, so how do you approach it? Because I think what I wanna know before I buy a shoe online is, like, what's the most recent edition?
Uh-huh.
And then, like, if I'm looking for a deal, how much cheaper is, like, the second to most recent like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and, like, kind of how good like,
Yeah,
can you take the older edition and get a good deal? Is it worth it? Like, is too good enough to do that?
really.
But, like, how do you approach that? Because I always feel like, I'll get an ad from, like, Backcountry, and they have these great deals, and I'm like, "Oh, that looks great," but I don't know if it's a great shoe unless I go, like, really do some research. So, are you researching a lot of these online before you buy them? Or
Am I researching?
us
Yeah.
okay, tell us your research approach then. Like, how does this happen?
Okay.
How do you get the new pair of trail shoes online?
Okay. Well, I mean, I am just a shoe head. I love
Yeah.
learning about shoes. So, like, I mean, I enjoy the experience of new shoes, but I really enjoy learning about the innovation that goes into new shoes, and so, like, I consume a lot of the reviews online and, like, just, like, learning about it and, like, um definitely going to your question about, like, the older version, newer version, I
Mhm.
mean, it definitely depends on because certainly there's a bunch of shoes where the older version is great, and you might as well like, for instance, like, um, I have 2 pairs of the, Adidas Agravics, Speed Ultra 1. I haven't purchased the 2 yet, it looks great, but I still have my version 1, and that is is still great for me. So,
Mhm.
like, I don't have a reason to get that one. But, so I just like learning about the shoes. I like thinking about, um yeah, I think it's fun. And so I definitely consume a lot of, so
Well, okay, I also think it's fun.
uh-huh.
I also listen to shoe reviews, but I feel like every shoe they're reviewing, I'm like, "Yes, that sounds awesome." Like, "Yes, I want that." And so then I wind up I do this all the time, I've talked about before. Like,
Mhm.
I need a few things, and I will, like, load up a cart or, like, get a bunch of stuff, and then I'll look at the millions of dollars I'm about to spend and be like, "Blah, no," and then I'll wind up getting nothing,
Right.
and then a month later, I'm kind of in a jam because I haven't, like, got anything into like, I get behind.
Mhm.
And honestly, even with all of those show reviews and, like, things I'll listen to, I will wind up just going to the store and putting it on my foot because I'm too
I mean, if you
scared.
can do that, that's way like, it's way better to put it
I
on.
agree, but it's
Yeah.
limited. A lot of the stores around me, they have, like, you know, 1 or
Mhm.
2 brands, and so I
Mhm.
feel like, "Oh, I don't even get to try the brand that I want," and that's kinda frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, in Albuquerque, I mean, we do have, like so I mean, I think it's so we have this, shoe store, I'm gonna shout it out because, my, friend owns it, called Heart
Good.
and Soul Sports. But they have a ton of different shoes and they like, a huge inventory for such a small and local store. Um, but, sometimes there's still shoes that I wanna try that they don't have. And they might have, like they have plenty of New Balance, but sorry, it's my dog realizing
You're
that somebody in the house? No, it's just me.
good.
Uh, uh-uh.
Oh,
Um,
it's good.
Kiva, But, sorry. But
You're good.
so she wants to say hi, actually. Kiva,
Hi,
say
puppy.
hi. Yeah, you're famous.
Aw.
Okay, bye-bye. Um And, but in terms of this, like, New Balance trail shoe, like, I mean, I definitely I get excited about learning about, you know, shoe releases and what's coming out the next year, like, I mean, I would love to go to the running event in Austin, that's
Yeah, like TRE.
yeah.
Guess we're gonna have to meet up there, Sarah. Because yeah.
I
I
mean,
just
we
feel
could
like,
go for
though
media. I mean,
I
we
feel
could,
like I get
yeah,
overwhelmed, and
yeah.
then I just okay, so I just bought Mount to Coast, my first pair of Mount to Coast, 'cause
Okay,
I
I
you
still
can
haven't
see
tried any Mount to
okay,
Coast. Yeah.
I was so excited, like, these are gonna be it, and I got the hybrid because my
Mhm.
summer race is really easy trail, and I'm like, "Oh, that's gonna be perfect for it," and I like them, but there's something I've been messing with the lacing system because I don't know if I have an extra ankle. Like, I have a bone on the inside of my right foot. It's like that one that you get to before you get to the ankle.
Okay. I'm picturing what you're talking about.
Yes, very, technical terminology here.
Right.
But the shoe's rubbing on that, and I'm like, "That's
Mhm.
not gonna work." Like, and I thought, "Okay, well, I can put a piece of tape there and just
Mhm.
protect that spot a little bit more," but I'm like, "Ah, come on." Like, and
Mm.
I would have known that if I had taken him to a store and run on, like, the store treadmill, probably, like, a quarter mile. Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't take me long to realize, like, this shoe's rubbing, and so I've unlaced him and relaced him a few times, and I'm hoping I can figure something out because they're
Mhm.
brand new, and so here I am again. I bought them online. I had listened to all the things like, I was feeling really good about my purchase,
Right.
but that at this now I'm like, "Ugh, probably would've got something else had I known,
Right.
like, this was
But
gonna
that's
be an
the
issue."
thing though is, like, there's also been plenty of shoes where yeah, you listen to all the things and it's awesome or whatever, but if it doesn't there's a number of shoes that I can think of that, like, it might be a great shoe, but I can never get a good lockdown, not necessarily rubbing a certain spot, but if my heel is always gonna be slipping or, like, I feel like, not secure there, then, like, that's not gonna work, and so there's been plenty of shoes where it's like, I end up ordering them, they get to the house, I put them on, you just in the house or, like, jog
Yeah.
around the house, so not dirtying them or anything, and I'm like, "Well, that's not gonna work." And then you send them back, and it's, like, definitely would've been, way better to get them. But on the other hand, yeah, not all the brands are in store and, well, Mountain Coast, for example, like, what a cool brand. I mean, they're doing a ton of amazing innovation, and, like, that's the only way to try them, you know? So,
Yeah.
I don't
I guess
know.
I should have, like you said, I probably should have worn them around the house and tried them, and I didn't. Like, I was just like, "Sweet!" Lace them up, like, went out to the
Yeah,
trail. The
yeah.
other thing, they just came out with a newer hybrid with the cuff.
Oh, yeah, the one with
Remember, it's,
Believe
like,
in
in
the Run collab?
collaboration with
Yeah,
somebody, yeah,
yeah,
and so maybe that would solve my little lacing issue because
maybe.
it's a cuff instead of, like, lacing up I don't know.
Yeah. Well, like,
Okay,
for my
so
shoes, these New Balance, SC Trail V2, the only thing I'm like so the lockdown around the midfoot and the heel seems pretty good. Actually seems like decent, like, arch support. Only thing I'm worried about is, like it's like, racing shoes commonly can have that slightly more narrow toe box. And so my little toes are, like, up against the side, and I'm not sure that can be an area that gives, and, like, they feel good otherwise, so I'm, like, gonna wear them and give them the chance and, like, try them because, I have them now, but I'm hoping that doesn't become a problem because obviously if that little toe just starts rubbing and I can't get any, space there, then, I can wear that in an Ultra, but I'm hoping that's not an issue because I would love to wear them, you know, um, for things, so
well, and that's the other thing. I mean, there's not a whole lot of shoes you try on and know what's gonna happen at mile 80. It's, like,
Mhm,
impossible to know a little bit, like,
mhm,
how it's gonna be in the full race, and so
mhm.
I think the lesson to the takeaway here is running shoes, trail shoes are like gardening. It can I mean, gardening can be expensive, you're gonna spend a bunch of money on these plants, and sometimes they die, you know? It's not like this long-term
Yeah,
investment
but
most of the
it's not like
time.
you get your plans back to your house and you're like, "Just doesn't fit." You always find a spot for that plant, There's that element.
But then, like, 2 weeks later, it can be dead, like, they might
Oh,
not
that's true.
last,
Oh, that's true, okay, okay.
for whatever reason, like, maybe they were not very
Yeah.
hardy to begin
But you
with,
can also,
and
you also, can get an idea of just general for people of, definitely go to your local stores and, if you haven't experimented with just trying on shoes and brands that you do have access to, definitely go do that because you might find something that's great, or it will at least, teach you about, "Oh, I have a low volume foot, a high volume foot. I have a problem with, this brand seems to fit better." And then you can kind of, be like, "Okay, well, now I feel comfortable enough to order this and at least try it, in the ballpark." So, anyway, definitely support your local running stores, but, have fun trying shoes too. So
here's another tip I will say, because I have 2 running stores, they're probably equal distance from me, but I always go to one because it's by my office slash other, like the grocery store and such,
Mhm,
but it's smaller, and every time I go there I really don't find what I want, and they're always, like, referring me to the other one. I'm like, "Why don't" like, I would say if you are in a similar situation, go to the biggest store possible that just has more inventory. If you don't know
mhm,
what you're looking for exactly, just so you can try more things on. And the
mhm,
one time I went to the other running store, I was, like, walking out with an armload of boxes because oh my goodness, they were so helpful. I think they're just used to, like, a lot more people and, like, they just had a greater selection, and I think
mhm,
that is really helpful if you don't know exactly what you want. If you do know exactly what you want and they have it, like, go quick and easy and go be simple, but I think my
yeah,
next thing to do is to go to this bigger location. It's the same, running store chain, but, um I think I need just, like, a bigger inventory to, like, help me out, find something that I
yeah.
like, so
Yeah. Shoe shopping is the best when there's, inventory, so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, I am enjoying the Mental Coast. I will give them I just need to figure I just need to figure out if I can fix this one little problem somehow. And then if I can, I will love them. Like,
Mhm.
other than that, they're fantastic. And I
Yeah,
think that's, like, a weird thing that I have, like, I don't think other people like, that's just my foot
totally.
being weird. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so
There's
good
also been
review
plenty
from
of
me.
shoes, though, that, I like that, people don't seem to talk about either, so it goes both ways, you know, you never know what your Goldilocks is gonna be, you know?
Mm.
So
Yes, it's fun but frustrating sometimes. So,
but you were
when
saying you
oh,
had a lot of good you said you had a better running week this week? Is that what you're saying?
I did, because I got so, as I said, this week one meeting, one fun thing was I had on the trip, um, just to, like, north of Las Vegas, and
Mhm.
I've been to Valley before, which is just north of Las Vegas. Obviously, this is Vegas as well, just south of the city. And, just made time, push things hard so I could have some time in Valley Fire and just
That's
have
amazing. The
an
pictures and
awesome
videos
time.
looked incredible. Oh my gosh.
It's a state park too. I'm like, as state parks go, this is pretty darn legit. It's
What
really
what's
big.
the what's the name of the state park again?
Valley of Fire.
Oh, Valley of Fire, okay.
Mhm, and it's actually Nevada's first state park,
Oh, okay.
and, I mean, they have the typical, like, old CCC buildings, like, CCC came in and built it out, and,
Mhm.
um, I guess you and I had talked about, like, um, maybe having, like, a trails episode where we share some, like,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
more, like, state-centric trails that we like or we've heard about.
Mhm.
Um, and we'll get in this to this a little bit today when we talk about my FKT, which is what we're gonna talk about in a minute.
Ooh,
But I just think it's really fun. I hope people take, like, an extra second when they're going to do a race or preparing for a race or even just around their own state, like, trails you're running on more locally, like, learn up about it a little bit, like, dig into the history and find out maybe a couple fun facts, or I always also like to learn a little bit about the flora and fauna of the area. That way, like, when you're out running, you kind of know a few things, like, you can spot, like, certain flowers, certain animals, and I think that makes it really interesting. So, anyway, yeah, that was my week this week while running. Got, a fun run through Valley of Fire.
that sounds amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so fun to just I feel like it's not that often that, just take a trip. I mean, if I'm visiting family or something, I'm running and where they are, but to take a trip to explore a national park or a new trail that's not attached to a race is so amazing. It also takes away any stress or you just like going and having fun and seeing beautiful spots. That's so cool.
Well, I will also say a lot of it's like week 1 thing. Also some, like, running books kind of.
Yeah.
I'm reading Heather Anderson's Thirst, which is her, FKT along the PCT.
Mm.
For that, I read it's by Blythe something, and she just, like, quit her job and, like, went to a bunch of national parks, and it was just kinda
Wow.
fun, like, it's just fun to, like, also be learning about, I love national parks, but a lot of times, I'm in state parks more often just because they're more accessible, of course, and,
Yeah.
um, yeah, it's just been fun. I've been, you know, just in a little too deep in the camping, hiking, running scene, and I love it, and so I
That's
think
incredible.
reading some books is fun too, so those are also kind of running
Yeah.
related I've been doing this week. But how about you, Sarah?
That
What's
sounds
any
awesome. I want
how was running this week?
well, it's actually kind of funny. So I'm in my year of let's get uncomfortable, let's do hard things. And, like, that's what I feel like that's the goal, like, just having fun, but just, like, kind of just, putting yourself in different scenarios to just, like, shake it up and to just, like anyway, so today, I jumped into a 1,500-meter track race. Yeah, and first of all, it was so hard. So, if you hear me throughout this podcast, I have some lingering, like, kinda coffee. I'm not sick, I just got trucked. And it was great. It was so cool, like, I don't know if this is normal or not, but so I jumped into the New Mexico like spring invitational. Anyway, so it's a college track meet. I am not in college. I am beyond college. And but anyway, they you can reach out and anyway, ask about participating. And I was like, first of all, I've never done a mile race ever. I did maybe like I did 8th and ninth grade cross country and I did winter track in ninth grade. But like I don't know anything here. And anyway, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be so short." And then this morning, I was like, "Holy crap, this is gonna be so hard." And it was so funny because walking into the stadium, just, like, being surrounded by all of, like, the college athletes in their, like, their school kits, and it was like it was just like I was laughing to myself because I felt so out of place as someone who's been focusing on longer stuff, and I was just like but it was so I was like I was just proud of myself for putting myself in a situation where, you know, it's like I knew so one of my friends on the club team that I run with here also did the, 1,500 in the men's, but it was just the 2 of us, like, here with our, like, non-collegiate little singlets, and, anyway, yeah, I went out way too hard and then died, um, for yeah, so, I think I can go even faster, I think if I focused on speed some more, but I also am just, yeah, stoked to have run really, really hard and just experience that, and I don't know, just put myself in an uncomfortable scenario, and it was kinda awesome, so
Oh my gosh, that's super awesome, and I know you mean, like, this feeling of, like, totally doing something new and, like, kind of not being prepared for it, but also you're excited because 'cause you're just being brave, and it makes you happy to be
Mhm.
like that, and it's actually in Heather Anderson's book that I'm reading right now, Thirst, it's kind of why she does things as well, it's like, I feel more like myself when I'm being brave, like, myself is brave, and so I have to keep doing brave things to be that,
Mhm,
and some of hers, like, she was
mhm,
afraid to, like, be out on the trail in the dark at first, but she knew, like, she needed that to, like, become more of who she was, and once she confronted it and, like, embraced it and learned
mhm.
from it, she just felt more complete, and I was like, "Yes, like, I know that feeling." Okay, I'm gonna need some more details, though. Um, how does one get into because I love, like, where I do my track workouts, it's a big, huge high school stadium, and there's no like, when I go, there's nobody there, but
Uh-huh.
I just love I could feel the presence of this place, and you can kind of just, like, dig up some of those memories of, like, a crowded, busy stadium and running, and I love that feeling, and I can only imagine,
Yeah.
like, stepping onto a track and it actually having some people, like, some noise would be so cool. So
Yeah.
how did you find out about this and, like, sign up and
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, a week ago, um, my friend in this club, like, basically wrote in our, like, the club, like, team chat or whatever and said "Hey, like, this, track meet is happening if anyone else I'm gonna do the 50" he's like, "I'm gonna do 1,500, like, if anyone else wants to do it too, or if anyone wants to register, it'd be cool to have, like, more" so we're Duke's Track Club is who I run with, mostly here. I don't yeah, and, but anyway, so I'm like, "You know what? Like, why not?" And so and you had to just, like, reach out to the race director. I don't know if this is common or if, like, New Mexico is just, like, really cool. I can't imagine this is, like, always allowed. Like, I felt, like, very out of place. I'm like, "Should I be here right now?" Like, I'm definitely not on one because it was, like, 2 college teams there, like, competing, you know? But it was, like, there's a couple, like, randos like me, that were there. But it was still like anyway, so you just reached out to the race director, and I guess maybe that's something, it's like, sometimes, like, you know, if you see something that looks cool, maybe just, like, you know, reach out to somebody and see
Or
if you
you
can,
can
I don't know.
maybe get, a hold of some of the college schedules or even I mean, high school is probably much different, they're a lot more cautious with the athletes, but, like, I have my friend, she runs, like, a neighborhood cross-country team, and she just has these little practices with, like, neighborhood kids, but she gets them into these kind of meets, like, she'll get the kids into, like, a high school meet that, like, high school
Mhm,
team running, but she's kind of there with her little club team, essentially, and so,
mhm.
like, kind of the same where you just have to figure out how to
Yeah,
sign up, and well, that's super okay,
yeah,
there you have
yeah,
to
I mean,
tell us how you
I
did.
don't
What was I
yeah.
mean, this is your mile time right now, like, I've never
Well, it was
I did run
1,500
okay, 1,500, yes. I've
so
only
it was
run the 1,500
1,500. I
once.
do
Yeah, go ahead.
uh-huh. I think so, I mean I have never done this in my life, and it is totally true that if you go out way harder than you should, then, like, you might end up, not being able to even hold what you think you maybe could've or whatever, so
Yeah.
it's like there's so many things, but it's, like, also you get so wrapped I mean, I have no idea. I've never run some like, I mean, even a 5K, is so much longer that it's like, so it's like, of course, when it starts, you go out with this pack, but I don't need to be running 4:10 to start out the start
Oh
of
my
this event, and
gosh.
but anyway, I finished in, like, 5:16 or something, but
That's awesome.
I was suffering, but yeah, it's been a
Sarah,
long time
and
since
okay, I was listening to Single Track or
uh-huh,
Conversational Pace, one of the 2, and Finn was giving his, like, marathon recap because he did the LA
uh-huh,
Marathon.
uh-huh,
Did I just say Finn Melanson? Yeah, I'm like, "Did I
yeah,
get his name right?" Okay, and they were talking about and he was kind of, like, stoked about it, right? Because it's just different, and he'd done well, and
yeah,
it's fun if you're, like, on trails all the time, then you kind of do this crazy marathon thing,
uh-huh,
and so they were going back and forth about how, like, you know, you can marathon train, and if you take it onto the trail, like, you're probably okay for a big part of the race, but at some point, those muscles are not the long endurance muscles that you need to get through a 100 miler, like, they
yeah,
are different muscles, and then right back the other direction as well. Like,
totally.
those fast twitch muscles, like, I cannot imagine trying to run a 1,500 on a track right now in a race, like, it would hurt so much. I
It
would
did.
throw up before the race even started.
It definitely did hurt, and, like, I mean, I do speed work, but, like, I mean, I can't think of the last time I did I mean, I don't even do speed work on the track, like, I just do, like, I do my variations, but I mean, I am never running that fast that,
Ugh.
maybe in a stride or something, but, like, it's definitely anyway, yeah, wow. It was really hard, but it was fun. I mean,
You
I
did
don't really care
great,
how I mean, yeah, I was pulling up the rear and, I don't care. It was great. So,
girl. Just be like, "Please." I would be trying, first of all, not to get lapped.
well, I did get last.
Did it
I did
you got lapped on it?
Oh, no, 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 not lapped. I
No,
thought you
I
said
was like
last.
no, I my first goal would to not get lapped. Like, if I could not get lapped, it would be a win.
Mhm.
So,
Totally.
that would I would just draw the line there, like, if I don't get lapped, I'm calling it good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, I think one time in college, my coach put me in the 1500. It was indoor, so I don't even know what that was, but it wasn't good. It was not good. And I was just
But
like,
you know what?
Why would you make
I,
me do
like,
this?
mostly want yeah, people should take away though, like, it's like, I think it's good to just, you know what they say? It's like just doing things that yeah, that scare you that or whatever in some capacity helps you grow in general in life. And like, I do think that, like, yeah, just like, you know, same thing that goes with running without a doubt. And, I think it's gonna like, obviously, should never be going that fast or trying to, do all out, in an ultra, but still, like, you hear people on, coaches talk about all the time where it's like, top end speed does matter. It helps your aerobic capacity and like being able to build and that helps your ultras. So,
For sure.
yeah, it's fun.
Running helps running. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm super proud of you for
Thank
everything.
you.
Like, I mean, I wonder if that's a, I would, I would never get close to that time. So I would love to have that time. And just like you talked about, like putting yourself out there and doing something that reminds you how brave you are and like keeps your bravery status high, which is pretty cool. So very cool. I
Yeah.
like
And now I
this,
just
Eric.
gotta then I 2 weeks until Zion's 60K and, hopefully some of that speed
Hey,
will
so why are you
translate.
running the 60K and not the 100?
Why?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm like, there is a 100
well,
miler.
well, there's a lot of distances. I mean, 100-mile, 100K, 60K, maybe I don't remember. There's a few
There's
shorter
a
ones
half.
than that.
There's a half, yeah.
Yeah, I just well, I it was I kind of I wanted something in the 50K-ish distance, and that one was the closest one. Um, yeah, because I still, like, yeah, kinda wanted to do something that's more speed based rather than and then waiting until later in the year for me to do, a big O. So,
I just feel bad because you're gonna miss some of the summits and you're missing some of the loops
I know.
that I
It
love.
looks like an amazing course, the full 100. I know you've
That's
done
why, I
yeah.
mean, people are like, "Why
I
would you do that?" I'm like, "So I can see everything," because, like, I don't
yeah.
want to know that, like, there's a loop I didn't get to do.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
you know what? You're right, but I think the
sometimes
60K still looks amazing, and it is a lot shorter than 100 miles, so
well,
there's
and I
that.
mean, there's only so many 100 milers you can do in a year, and so you have to pick. I
Yeah.
also so I'm going to Patagonia
Yeah.
next week, and I would love to do the 100
Oh, that's
miler.
next week. Oh,
Yeah, which they have,
mhm.
but I don't have time, and so, I'm just doing the marathon, which is what I have time for, and it's gonna be amazing. There is a little piece of me that's like, "Oh
Sounds
gosh,
amazing.
I would love to do it all," but, whatever. Again, I'll do a different one, so well,
Yeah.
yay for us, we have very exciting, races coming up soon, so,
I know.
how are you preparing for the
Awesome. Well, so should
Zion?
we dive into the main event? What?
Oh, yes, I know, but I wanna talk about Zion too. Zion's, like,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
my favorite. It's my favorite place on this planet, so I'm just really excited that you get to go. Have you been before?
I'm s I I don't know if I've actually been I mean, so I've been through the more, like, southeastern, part like, I've been through Arches and Capitol Reef and Canyonlands and, um, Bryce, I think I've been through I don't know if I've actually been to Zion or not. But anyway, but yeah, I'm flying into Salt Lake, midweek, and then I'll just, drive down. Um,
Mhm.
and yeah, so I'm really excited. I actually, talking about I think we did last week about in terms of like prepping stuff. I actually want to go ahead and start like yeah, getting my fuel in a little like bag and like thinking about my drop bag and like,
Yes. Start the calendar of the build up here.
yeah.
Are you gonna get to go so the race is not in Zion National Park. right? Like,
Right.
it's kind of
Yeah,
out
but the
around it.
views still look
Oh, no,
incredible just
it's so
from outside.
amazing. But my question is, are you gonna get to go into the park at all? Like, do you have time? Slash,
I
also
don't
ability,
yeah,
'cause you're gonna be doing something.
right. Yeah, I don't know, so, I think I mentioned so my husband's a musician, and he'll be playing with the, Utah Symphony a bunch in April, and so he'll actually be out there, so I'll hang out with him for a few days before, and then I'll drive down probably from Salt Lake on that Friday mornings, and then basically race, and then kind of just come back up to Salt Lake and hang out with him, and then we fly out on Sunday.
Okay.
So I would love to have more time, but I don't know, I kinda sometimes love just, like, go down, just do it, and then come back. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, again, sometimes it just can't it has to stay simple, like
Yeah.
yeah, so I hear you, okay. Okay, well, someday, Zion National Park is just amazing. And I was actually
I
just there. I mean, from where I was in North Las Vegas, it was a mile and a half an hour and a half drive, and I was like, "Do I go to Zion? Like, do I do Valley of Fire?" And I was like I was so tempted to zip on over there, but I was visiting a friend as well, and I was like, "I'm not gonna have the time with her if I
yeah.
indulge in Zion." So
You're like, "Peace, I gotta go."
I know. "Okay, friend, haven't seen you in a while. I'm going to Zion." She actually this friend, um when did I do Zion last? So I've done it twice. One was my DNF, one was,
Mhm.
I completed it. And I had a friend who was gonna come out with me on the second one who bailed, and my friend in North Las Vegas ended up, like, it was, like, a couple days before, and I was like, "Hey, would you wanna, like, come out?" And she did. So, she's a great friend.
Awesome. It's a
Okay.
Vegas is cool, like, I feel like I only recently learned about, like yeah, well, A, it's they make it cheap to fly there usually because they want you to gamble, and then but, like, the mountains even right in Vegas are really cool, and then, yeah, there's all these parks right there, like, I did think about I could have flown from Albuquerque to Vegas, and it's only 2 hours, yeah, to Lake Zion, but, yeah, with everything, it made more sense to fly to Salt Lake, but, yeah, it's really cool.
I really liked, whatever his last name, the free solo guy.
Alex
He
Honnold?
lives there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And he's like, "There's great climbing." It's like a little mecca because you can also, like it's good there, like, you can just stay, like, in the
Mhm.
surrounding Vegas, or you can go to these amazing places that are couple-hour drive away in, like, all these different directions, so I'm like, "Yeah, I could do that." So,
Yeah.
pretty cool place, yeah. Also, Sierra
Shout
de
out to
Groff lives
Alex
there,
Honnold.
and Sierra de
Oh,
Groff,
and
she lives in Vegas,
Sierra. Yeah,
but she's running
cool.
today.
That's
She's
cool.
running I didn't recognize this race. It was called, like, the, under something? Let me see.
Huh.
Geez, we could just talk about all the good racing too. We haven't, like, chatted about all that. We didn't talk about, like, Chianti and all of that, did we?
No, yeah, there's a ton we oh my
Yes.
gosh, the
Racing
women's
has
race
been
at
so
Chianti.
good. Yes. I've just been
It's
like
so good.
yeah, I'm, like, looking for footage. I'm like, "I just wanna see more." It was amazing. Alright, Sierra, what
I
are you doing
know.
today? What is it called? Like, Instagram is annoying because okay, it's called the Umstead. I don't know where that is, but she's doing it.
Oh, in North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. I don't know much about it, but
Oh, okay,
she's doing it.
cool. Yeah,
Shout
nice.
out.
My it's funny, my I know so my brother and his wife got married actually in so that's near Raleigh, and they got married there a couple years ago, and so that's in Umstead State Park, which is right near where their wedding venue was. And, anyway, so it was kinda fun to run on those and go like, "Oh, actually, this would be a fun and pretty fast, like, way to, like, yeah, tackle" I don't know if she's doing the 100 or,
She is doing
shorter. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I hope she
yeah.
does well.
See, before I finish this. Oh, so me and my main star trained FKT.
Yeah.
Where should we start, Sarah?
Okay. Well, first I wanna know, so, obviously, like you said, we we only have so many, like, huge events we can do back to back, like, in terms of, like, really long ones, and I wanna know, like, why you picked it, how you came across it. Like, I know it's the longest trail in Texas, right? Yeah, so, like, how did you get excited about choosing this and, like, yeah, putting so much effort into it? I wanna know about that first.
Well, I've talked about the whole FKT scene before, and it started with my husband buying me this hat that says FKT on it, and I would just wear it because it was like a running hat. And then I wore it to my summer race, and Andrew and Regina were there. I'm spacing their last names right now, and he asked me, like, what FKT did I get? And I was like, "What?" And so, once I understood what an FKT was, I was like, "Oh, I should probably do something to, like, earn this hat that I'm wearing around." So, it just kind of I think I was kind of heading into a new year, and I was thinking, "Okay, like, I wanna do an FKT, what can I do?" And there's this trail that I really love, it's called the Spring Creek Greenway, and I was like, "Oh," there's not a current FKT on it, and I was like, "This is such a great place to run. I'm gonna submit it and see if I can get it approved and then set the first FKT on it." And so I did that, but as I was looking, kind of just like if you can get on the FKT website and just look and see what's in your area. And that was another reason why I wanted to do that is there wasn't a ton in Houston or like surrounding Houston. But there are two others. One is this 50-mile loop around the city, which I kinda wanna do too. I mean, it's just this 50-mile loop somebody made up.
Okay.
And the other one is the Lone Star Trail, which is set for women,
Mm.
supported is set by Regina, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know Regina. Here's this trail." It's close by. It's like the whole trail, it's a point to point, of course, and, like, anywhere along that trail is an hour from my house. So, it's really easy to get to.
Okay.
And so I thought,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay, like, I would like to do that," and I was thinking, and this is all, like, last year, I was hoping to do it. I was hoping to do it in February. And anyway, February rolled around, and
Mhm.
I did the Houston Chevron Marathon, and then I did the Woodlands Marathon, and then I was helping a friend at Rocky, I was helping Megan at Rocky Pace, and I just was like, "It's not in the cards." Like, this window of good weather is gonna go by. I do not wanna do this trail in the summer because it's so gross down here in the summer, and this trail is just, like,
Oh,
already
yeah.
really it's not like a lot of it is not like a well-traveled trail, and so I was like, "I bet it's horrendous out there in the summer," you know? And so I really felt like kind of February was the best window to do it, and the window closed, that year, and then shortly after that, like, by that summer, Regina had set up, um she decided to kind of host or support 25 runners doing the trail, and I was like, "Oh my gosh," I heard about it. She
Oh,
was
that's
taking the
her was her event? Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. Which I was like, "Oh my gosh." So she took
Ah.
the first 25 people that signed up, she charged us 25 bucks, and I was like, "This just keeps getting better." Like, 25 bucks, I get to do 100 miles and have some support. Um, and so I just jumped on it, and I was like, "This is awesome." Like, I wanted to do this anyway, and that style of race can be under the category of a supported FKT. So I was like, "Perfect." Like, I'm just, like, this is a
Mhm.
perfect scenario to set this new FKT. So that's kind of like the ball was rolling there for sure.
Oh, that's incredible. Wow. I mean, that definitely sounds like just so many things, like you said, of just, like, totally relating you to do it
Mhm.
then and everything. Like, I mean, she obviously was had the same thing in mind of, like, yeah, February on, Lone Star would be nice, and then you're like, "Exactly, that's what I was thinking." Wow, okay, so yeah, so and h okay, so, I mean, there's so much. I don't wanna back up too far because I wanna make sure we get enough in there. But, like, so, like, how are you so generally going in, like, do you have anything you wanna, yeah, mention about how your training was going or how you're
Oh,
feeling?
sure. Um, well, training hadn't been amazing because I was injured over the summer, and
Oh,
then I
right.
got ready for marathons.
Mhm.
But I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna have all this speed, like, all the speed rolling off this marathon, and then I'll just try to get a few long runs in before, and that's what I got," you know? So I felt pretty confident, like, with
Yes.
that, though. I felt like by the end of the marathon and before this race, I could get some good long runs in there, keep my speed, and that's
Mhm.
like, I'm in as good shape as I can be for the most part. The stars just really did
Yeah,
align. I really wanted to go out and do some trail recon because I'm like, "This trail is so close. I would love to go get some runs done on it."
yeah.
However, it's really difficult. Like, I usually just run right out my door, and to, like, put an hour on top of my run that's gonna be long, like, it's really difficult. But I
I get that.
had
Totally.
yeah,
Mhm.
and it's frustrating. I'd love to go do cool runs all the time, but, um, I wound up having a string of work, projects like, along the trail, and one of the days I was able to go out, I hit my project site, I zipped down to, like, trailheads 1, 2, and 3, I zipped out to the next I was, like, zigzagging onto the entire trail, from trailhead 1 to the last, which is 15, and I was
Wow.
like, "This is incredible," like, I get to see the trail, I I I think that was the week after the Houston Marathon, so I was really sore, and I wasn't gonna do a lot of running, but I could just go and kinda see, and I had actually bought this book. It's, The Lone Star Hiking Trail, which is the name of the trail, and I kinda
Oh,
just wanted to
okay.
see, like, how accurate it was, and I was amazed. I was like, "This trail book is, like, you can trust everything it says, everything is right where it says it's gonna be. There's water where it says it's gonna be water, there's, like, this turn when it's that tur" you know, like, every so I was like, "Okay, this is a book I could give my friend and be like, this will take you exactly where you need to go every time." So, that was fun to, like, build some confidence as well, and that was just, like, stars aligning with my work as well that, like, I got to kinda go out and see some of the trail and feel like I got to recon a little bit, and that was really fun for me too. So,
That
that's the pre
sometimes
stuff.
yeah, I mean, it sounds like sometimes it's like, yeah, obviously it doesn't you can, of course, still have an amazing time in your event when because a lot of times we don't get that opportunity to go and see a course beforehand, but, like, sometimes when you can, like whether it's confidence or just establishing a further connection with, like, having, like, that fun element of being like, "Wow, how cool is it I was able to go to work and then it allowed me to do a little bit on here," and you're, like, establishing, like, good positive connections with it that I feel like I mean, yeah, we can't always get that, but, like, wow, what a that's amazing.
Yeah. Just I saying we've just been saying just kept feeling like stars were aligning, and, that's always special. It's not always like that,
That is
so I was just like I was appreciating it for sure.
Yeah. So it sounds like, yeah, mentally going in, it sounds like you were in a yeah, a good place and you were thinking about it's like obviously you just done this marathon and there's all these things, but it sounds like you were in a place to really accept this huge journey you had in front of you and open to like we talked about the being flexible and just taking it in, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, being flexible does come up in this race.
Yeah. So okay, so what time so
As flexible as I needed to be, but I tried.
yeah, I mean, we just strive for flexibility doesn't mean we're gonna be perfect at it. So what time did it start?
So, well, pre-race on that as well. So I did have crew. We
Okay.
were kind of like most races, you were allowed to have a pacer after mile 20, actually, that's not always the same. But after mile
20?
20, you
Oh,
were allowed
neat.
to have a pacer. One of my friends who I do some adventuring with just bought a camper van, and I was like, "Would your camper van like to take its maiden voyage and kinda crew me along this race?" And so I
Uh,
had 3 friends out there, 2 were gonna be crew, and then 1, was planning to pace me. So it was just nice to have support. I guess there's a little part of me that's still I'm not always sure that's the best way to go because I do always like, there was some crew missings and pacing like, just things that didn't work out that I was like, it could have maybe also been okay to do it alone because then I wouldn't have had to, like, also worry about crew, wouldn't have had to worry about pacer, and I think that's maybe a decision, like, we always have to make is, like, um,
Mhm.
are those gonna be helpful? Are they gonna be a distraction? Things like that, but I was happy to have my friends out
Mhm.
just interested in what I was doing and, like, helping, even though we did have a couple times where, there was just some, like, confusion, which,
Yeah.
I had to be flexible with, and
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know
logistics are
if I
hard.
was super
Yeah.
flexible, but,
Mhm.
um yeah, so they were all
Yeah.
prepped and ready, and then the race started it started at 6 a.m. So I drove out with one of my friends,
6 AM.
and then she was gonna take my truck to the finish, so I'd have a car at the finish, which I mean but Regina had also she'd set up a way for people to go to the finish, and she shuttled everybody to the start. So she had a really
Uh-huh.
cool operation going and just had set things up really nicely. She gave us a little kind of pre-race pep talk, and I had my new Garmin watch with the directions. I was so excited to use it, and then, like,
Oh,
she
oh,
said
you had
go,
the
and I'm
yeah,
like
GPX up in there and yeah, okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, she said go, and I'm like, "Oh, shoot." So I think I, like, had to stand there for a minute trying to figure out how to find my map and I had practice with it. I was so frustrated because 'cause I'm like, "I had practice with this, I was ready," and then
Yeah.
I I've struggled with that because I don't typically have, like, the route on my watch, and anyway, so it started the first 20 miles were really fun and fast and easy. It's a section of the trail that's much more traveled than any of the rest of the trail, so
Okay.
it was, like, better groomed, better just, like, an easier trail to get started on, so I appreciated that.
Okay, so yeah, so it was very obvious where you were going. It was so was it so s were there trail, like, markers and stuff, or was it kind of like everyone, needed to have it on their watch, or, like, how did that work? Because it was also FK like, so small.
Yeah, so it's a fat style of trail, which I think technically fat ass is like you are supposed to take everything that you're gonna need, which would be more of a self-supported,
Mhm.
but, Regina had at every trailhead so there's, 15 trailheads, so we started at trailhead 1, you finish at trailhead 15. She had dropped off jugs of water, not at every trailhead, but close to it, close to every
Okay.
trailhead.
Mhm.
I think there was between, like, 8 and 10 miles between each, like, trailhead that she had left water at, and then she had a big, huge tub, and you could put whatever you wanted into it, so it was some sort of drop bag with whatever nutrition you wanted or
Okay.
change of shoes if you want a change of shoes. She had a couple that, ones that were you could have a smaller drop bag and then a couple that you could have a larger drop bag. So she had that all set up for us, and that made it easy. She did not do any trail markings, it was just the trail markings that, like, the official trail is marked with,
Oh,
so they're,
okay.
like, little, kind of metal triangles nailed on trees,
Okay.
which did make it a little bit more difficult because they're, spaced further apart than, like, maybe a course that's marked for a race
Yeah.
would be.
Mhm.
So there was a little bit more difficulty navigating, but man, my watch made it totally easy. Like, no, I was
Okay.
just, like, following my watch until my
Yeah.
watch died at
Oh,
mile
no.
80 in the dark,
Oh,
and I was like,
no.
"Oh, if ever there was a time not to die."
Wait,
So,
was it
er
charged beforehand or no?
okay, yes, I did charge it, and it's supposed to have 7 days. Like, it says 7 days. It's fully
Okay.
charged, and I was like, "Perfect, off I go."
Uh-huh.
And, I don't know if having it turned on to, like, GPX like that, it just keeps it on the
Yeah.
whole time, and it just burnt through the battery. I don't know. It was done at mile 80. So,
Wow.
I think it was actually before that because it was still light outside. Like, I came into what trailhead was that? I'd have to look it up. It was only, like I think it was around 5 o'clock, so I knew I was heading into the evening, and I'm like,
Okay.
"My watch is dying, and I'm gonna be out here
Okay.
without this GPX file in the dark trying to look for these trail markers." So, I was not
Okay,
very
okay.
happy about that.
Okay, hold on. Let's back up. Let's back up. That
Okay.
I wanna get to that. So, okay, so first 20 miles, things are smooth sailing, you're feeling good, it's feeling fast. What are you eating, drinking? Like, are you like, how's everything feeling? Like, it sounds like body-wise was feeling okay, no, like yeah, but, like, what about food and hydration during that period?
Super good. Just pounding food. And again, I'm just coming from all this, like, marathon training, like, going fast and, like, slumping jams, you know? So
Yeah.
I had actually bought, an Ultra Spire waist. They have a new waist hydration pack,
Oh,
and I loved it. Oh my goodness, I loved it so much, and so I had it stocked with gels. The water, bladder goes in the back, and it's very I had taken it out on some practice runs, and I was, like, pretty
is
confident
this the
getting.
mountain racer?
Yes.
Oh, wait, so okay, wait, were you wearing a vest or just the belt?
Just the belt, because I was like, "There's gonna be plenty of places to refill,"
Wow, so
and
how much water can it hold? And then you were yeah, like, what was your bladder size or whatever?
I don't know. I was like, "Don't ask me so." It's big,
Sorry.
though. It's big.
Okay.
It's like 2 of those little vest ones, you know?
Oh, so it's, like, maybe a liter.
Yeah, it's really big, and it just fits right in this big, huge back pocket.
Wow.
It has a lock on it, like, it doesn't spill, it didn't leak. It it
Wow.
slips in and out so easy. I was
And there's,
worried
like,
about
an
all of that.
and there's, like, enough space then for gels and all your other
Yep.
stuff too.
Tons of space. I had my phone on me, all of my food. I
Wow.
and more space. I didn't even use all the space. So,
Did it ride up at all, or did it stay in place pretty well? Okay.
didn't it was so comfortable. I had packed my vest thinking, like, maybe I'm gonna wanna change at some point.
Mhm.
Um, but I wound up I was so comfortable with it on, and I do when I'm wearing my vest, I do start feeling squeezed, so I was like, I loved just, like, feeling open
Yeah.
and, like, uninhibited and just, like, I could take a full breath. However, I wound up switching to my vest. Apparently, everything happened at mile 80 because I'm not sure what these are for, but in the belt, there's these 2 kind of foam pieces in the back, and I don't know if that's just to give it some structure to kinda hold it open for the bladder. You can also put
Mm,
your poles back there, but they had kinda started to put some pressure into my back that was getting a little uncomfortable, but this is mile 80, like,
mhm.
everything's uncomfortable if you've had it on for 80 miles.
Right.
So, I wound up switching to the vest at that point.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, anything of note that you wanna say before mile 80, or did everything was just like, what about,
Yes,
like, up
okay, well,
to,
so
like,
go
50
back.
mile? Like, 20 to
Mile
50.
20.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, mile 20 was the first time I saw my crew, and everything had been going well. I was just hammering. I wound up buying huge cases of Precision. I really like their those chews, like the mint and the I don't know what those
Oh,
flavors
mhm,
are. It's like the mint and the something
mhm.
one. They
Okay.
just kind of always taste good. Like, the taste is really light. So I was
Mhm.
pounding those, like, everything was going well. Met my crew at mile 20. That was exciting and fun, and my friend so here's the first time I need to be flexible, right? I have a friend who is gonna pace me, and she said that she would be comfortable running, like, a 9:30 pace, and I was kind of afraid
Okay.
that I kinda thought I'd probably be running faster than that, and she knew, like, I would drop her if I was
Mhm.
feeling good or running fast or whatever. So,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
she stayed with me for probably, um, 10 seconds. And then I was just going really
Okay.
fast at that point still. I was probably, like, running 8:30s, and she was gonna be pushing herself to run
Uh-huh.
9:30s and not so I the my hesitancy is she was fine with me dropping her. She wanted to go run, like, she wanted to get her trail run in, like, she
Mhm.
loves it, so it was an opportunity for her to be on the trail
Mhm.
too and, like, be out there. My concern
Mhm.
became, like, she doesn't have the GPX file on a watch, like, what if she gets lost out here?
Mhm.
And the section we were going into was pretty
Mhm.
remote, and I was just like, I should have taken care of her better. Like, I was pretty sure I was gonna drop her. I didn't think I would be dropping her after 10 seconds, but I wound up
Mhm.
feeling like I wasn't very responsible knowing what I knew.
Yeah.
And so, I guess that, like, leads me to hesitate maybe going into the next race or something. Like, I either need to take better care of my pacer or not have one, or be very confident that this person is at my same pace kinda thing. So, that was kind of a little snafu.
Well, did it end up being in did so there wasn't any, like, self-service to be able to, like, let's say, look on a map on your phone or anything, like, for her?
It was spotty, and that's also, like that's no fun for somebody who's out there,
Mhm.
like, trying to like, that would make me nervous, like and she is on the
Yeah.
trail, like, it was marked, but it became a lot less, like, groomed starting right at
Mhm.
mile 20, like, there
Mhm.
was a noticeable difference, like, the trail completely changed to, like, very, like, messy, I don't know how else to say it, like, there was probably, like, 5 inches of, like,
Mhm.
leaves and stuff on top of gnarly roots, and so it was quite a bit more difficult than
Oh,
even,
okay.
like, the previous 20 miles, and I felt that, I was like, "Oh gosh, this trail just got a little bit harder, and now I've got my
Did your
friend out here."
pacer were they able to did they turn around, or did they need to make it the full distance on their own?
I think that she w was able to make that decision, like, she could have done either. She wanted to go.
Yeah.
She wanted to do her leg, which,
Yeah.
I think was gonna be, like, 6 miles. So,
Oh, okay.
while I was concerned about her, I was like, "She can figure out 6 miles," like, I hope.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
that was just
I think I think in that moment, it's like, I totally get that. I mean, given the context, it sounds like, 6 miles, it's, it's on a trail that does have some amount of markings, it's still during the day, and I would imagine there's still maybe some people behind you, I would think, at that point, that, like, that so th I would think she wouldn't be totally alone, for if she, like, were to totally stop, she could, join someone else maybe, so I feel like it
well,
was you coulda just kept going?
as much faith because there's only 25 people doing things anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it has been nice with, like, gas stations and truck markings, like, I would have felt a little bit better, but there wasn't really anybody behind me, like, I didn't know. There's only 25 of us total, I didn't really know where everybody else was.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
so people were, like, really spaced out. Like, I know it's a small group, but, like, you could still have, like, a few people here together or, like, a mile or 2 per or whatever. Not sure, like, but it sounds like yeah, sounds like there was a lot of daylight, between people.
there were the first 3, for I wanna say the first guy's name was Alex, who can run, like, a 14-hour 100 miler, like, he's very good, and then a guy named Matt, me, and Trevor, we were kind of the first 4 of us were, within an hour, like, we were always kind of shifting back and forth, like, Trevor and I leapfrogged a bit, Mel and I leapfrogged a bit, and so,
Mhm.
um but that was the first 4, and behind 4th place, I had no idea. I hadn't seen anybody, so
Right, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can see how that would add some stress. I mean, yeah, that is interesting because I mean, that can't be a yeah, a unique worry that people have of, yeah, it's like the whole, like, picking pacers, and even if it could be someone who's the perfect pace for you, but also, like, whatever reason, like, there's still logistics involved with that, and it's like, I mean, I think it's also like, hopefully they feel some amount of like, it's like, maybe it's like, "Oh, do you have the GPX for it on your watch?" Like maybe next time, doing
Yeah.
that. But it's like, I do think you kinda have to do your thing in that moment, and just like, you know, push
Well,
on.
and I had told her because 'cause I've had a similar, like, pacing issue before, and I was like, "Straight up, I'm not gonna wait a second for you. I just won't. And so, come have fun, like, let's
Yeah.
go for it, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
can't stop. Like, I'm trying to break
I
a
don't wait
record
for
here."
nobody. My name's Kelly.
'Cause, like, maybe if I hadn't been going after the record, like, maybe if it had just been a different situation, but I was like,
No, I get
"I
that.
can't break a record
Yeah.
and wait for people, like, that doesn't make any sense." So, anyway,
No,
so
totally. No,
that was mile
you
20.
gotta keep your momentum even if it's whatever, like, yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. I like this
Fine.
idea of, like, alter ego Kelly's like, "I don't wait for nobody."
Oh my goodness. Sometimes too, like, I I I might also not know my own pace very well, and so it's hard for me to, like, share that with other people, like, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna be doing at any of these miles, so, you know?
Right. I
So
mean, it can
anyway,
be so
it's
like,
fine.
the longer it is, it's so much can be the difference between 1 mile and another can be so drastically different.
Yeah, I mean, if you're cramping and barfing at mile 30, well, guess what? Now you're going 15 miles, or 15-minute miles or, like and that somebody could
Right.
totally help you with
That's what
that,
yeah.
So, I think
Right.
that's some of it too,
Yeah,
is
for
like, I don't
sure. Okay.
yeah, I don't always know what's gonna help me either or, like so, anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, but just the trail did get a
Okay,
lot
so that was
more
mile 20.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the trail got a lot more technical, just it was pretty gnarly, like, I like, the footing was you could kind of you just I felt confident because for some reason I can navigate, like, a really messy trail, but it was messy, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, geez," like, this it was noticed to be more
Yeah.
difficult, but it was great, the weather was great, we were having beautiful weather day, it started off cool, it was getting hotter, I wanna say we climbed up to mid-80s. I'll have to go back and look and see what the high was that day
Oh.
because it did get pretty hot. But it was still like it wasn't swampy, it was dry, which is really rare here in Houston, so I was, like, appreciating just some dry air and
Mhm.
doing good. Yeah, felt really good until, I gosh, I need to go back and look at all the mileage in my book. I wanna say it was around noon, and the trail spits you out onto, like, a feeder road, and you have to run down a feeder road under, Interstate 45, and then you kinda keep running down this road until you get back onto the trail, and it's actually a really interesting section of the trail because 'cause you've just been in the woods forever, and suddenly you're, like, on this
Yeah.
feeder road, and you're like, "Oh gosh," and then you're
Uh-huh.
kind of, like, on a road, like, in this neighborhood, and you're like, "Oh gosh," like, I've been in the woods, and now I'm here. Um, but I got to that station, and I was really hoping I had put some caffeine gels in a lot of my bags, and I was really hoping for some caffeine, even though maybe it was kind of early. I had just gotten up early, like, I think I had gotten up at 3, and now it's noon, and I was like, "Gosh, I could use a boost," and I didn't have any in that drop bag, and I hadn't had any caffeine yet, and I was like, I kinda didn't have what I wanted. For whatever reason, normally, especially in these races where there's not a ton of water, I'll I'll get to the station, drink whatever in my bladder, or even fill up my bladder and drink it, and then fill it up again and then go. For whatever reason, I didn't do that, and so it's almost like I missed a big drink, and I took off, and now it's noon and kind of the hottest part of it's becoming very hot. I'm on this road that's really exposed, and so right around I mean, I'm guessing that was mile 40-ish, 35-ish, 40-ish, I started to miss some nutrition. So now I wish I would have had caffeine. I think I even, like, got frustrated about it and didn't eat what I had because I was like, "Oh, I really wanted this gel with caffeine, and I don't have it." And then I kinda didn't have enough water,
Okay.
and I just took off. And I was feeling good, but I think that's when I started to make some mistakes. It's just, like, I didn't take care of myself
Mm.
well. And then I was running down that exposed road, and I was out of water. Probably it was
Mm.
probably 5 miles of, like, I'm hot and I have no water until I got to the next place where there was. So that's
That
not
can be a long time. Yeah.
that's not terrible. I mean, it's an hour without water in the heat, like,
Yeah.
it can wear on you. So, I get to that one, the next one, and I had kinda started to feel nauseous because probably I didn't have enough water, hadn't had enough nutrition. And I got there and, like, nothing in my drop bag sounded good. My crew was supposed to be there, and I had, like, totally psyched myself up, like, "Yes, I'm gonna" like, they had all these cold I just wanted something cold, like, not lukewarm
And
water.
this was
I would
what mile was this?
So this had to have been closer to mile 50.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So the now we're about mile 50. I'm looking at my book.
Okay, okay. Nice.
And anyway, they weren't there. I called them, and I had told them, like, I really wanted like, these are friends who, like, one flew in from DC. These are friends that we go way back, we don't get to see each other all the time, and I was like, I want you guys to have a really fun day, so if you only wanna see me twice and you guys go have fun, like, let's do that, like, also, this is your day. It doesn't have to
Right.
just be about
Mhm.
me." But we had planned so we had made the plan, and they had planned to be there, and I called them, and they're like, "We're, like, 10 minutes out," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna sit here for 10 minutes." Like,
Yeah.
again, I'm like, I've got this record on my mind, and I'm like, "10 minutes isn't that much, but I can't just sit here for 10 minutes and
Yeah. So you had in the
wait."
back of your mind, like, roughly where you were maybe at that did you have any sort of splits for the record? Or did you just have the end time that you knew you needed to beat?
I did have some splits because I'd gone on I think it's pacer.com. Have you ever used that?
Oh, no,
I think it's called Ultra Pacer. I have it right
I don't
here.
know
It's
if
in
I
the
have that
planner.
one. Oh,
It's
okay, cool.
ultrapacer.com. You can go in and just you can put a finishing time, and then it will go back and spit out all of your marks and then you can, like, put in, like, "Hey, I'm gonna have, like, 15-minute aid station breaks or 5-minute
Mhm.
aid station breaks." Like, you can put in the length of break that you want as well. And I didn't necessarily have that, like, all memorized in my mind. I was just trying to hurry, and I didn't wanna sit
Mhm.
there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I get that. No, no, I was just curious. Yeah, no, totally. You wanna keep the
Yeah, I mean, at
momentum
that point,
going.
I wasn't like, "Oh, I need to be
Yeah,
doing this," but
right,
I
right.
was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna sit here for 10 minutes."
Yeah,
So that one was
yeah.
really terrible because I wound up like, I had kinda gotten myself through that hot, thirsty 5 miles thinking, "Okay, I'm gonna have this ice cold lemonade, and then, like, I'm gonna
Mhm,
have this potato soup that we had." Like, I was just pumped to get this good food and drink. And then
mhm.
I get there and they're not there, and they're not gonna come before I leave, and I wind up taking nothing. I don't even
Wait,
I
so
had
you didn't have a so there was there did you did have a drop bag there or no?
I did.
And you didn't take anything?
I didn't want it was like
Yeah,
I I
I get
wasn't
that. I
flexible,
get that.
and
Yeah,
I
I
just
get that.
looked at my drop bag and I was like, "I don't want any of this." I was, like, mad, not being flexible, and I was like, I can't eat any of this." It just sounded awful, and, Amy Warnke was there, who we've had on. She just won the Hurt 100.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah,
she
that
was
was a
out
great
pa y
episode. Okay.
yeah, she was pacing her friend Mel, and he had been ahead of me to this point, and I caught up to him at this point where my cruise like, so she's there and he's there, and I'm just, like, bummed that I'm not
Mhm.
getting what I want. And,
Yeah, I get that.
And so she shared, like, this cold LaCroix with me, and I was like, "Oh, that's so delicious." And I
That's so
think
nice.
no, it was so nice, and this is when my watch was dying, and so then I'm mad at my crew as well because they had my chargers. I'm like, "You guys,
Oh.
I need to charge." My phone was dying, my watch was dying,
Mm.
um, and I still didn't have caffeine. My stupid drop bags, I was like, "Where's the caffeine?"
Okay.
Like, I
I think
literally
at
put
the end of this, we're definitely gonna have a lessons learned.
oh my gosh, like, put caffeine in every single bag from the beginning to the end. Um,
Yeah.
so Andrew was so nice. He had been at the last station where I was hoping for caffeine and didn't have any, and he had gone to a gas station and bought some No-Dos, and he was there at the that next one, and he's like, "Hey, I got these for you if you want them." And I was like, "Yes." And they were awesome. I've never had
Wait,
a
what's a
No-Dos
no-no?
before. Caffeine it's a
I don't know what
tablet.
that
I
is.
swallowed it.
Oh, okay, okay. Nice.
So, yeah, so I had one of those. I had, like, half a can of LaCroix. I don't even know if I filled up my water at that point, and I left.
So it sounds like you had caffeine and some LaCroix, and you haven't sounds just like you haven't eaten in a while either.
I hadn't. So I'm
Okay.
just like I just made massive mistakes, right? So I get out and I'm just
Mhm.
like so I'm a couple miles into this when it's dawning on me that I just left with nothing. I have no
Mhm.
water again. It's so hot. I'm again running down some, like, more, like, roads to, like, connect sections of the trail, so I'm exposed. It's close to 90 degrees, 88 between 80 and 90, I remember, and I was like, my oh, Andrew also had a watch charger. So I have my watch stuffed in my pack now, charging, and I'm like, at least that made me feel really good because I was
Wait,
like,
he
"Oh,
had a
at least I don't."
portable watch charger?
Yeah. So put
Wow.
that on your list of things to buy.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, and he gave it to me, and I stuffed it like, I attached it, and I stuffed it in my belt, and off I went.
Wait, can it charge and still be I guess it can.
Yeah, it was
Huh, okay.
awesome. Yeah,
Wow.
so that I will be buying myself one
Yeah, I
because
wanna link to that,
apparently
actually, that's
my
pretty cool.
seven-day Garmin watch lasts for, 12 hours.
Wow,
Um,
okay.
so yeah, so total
Uh-huh.
nosedive. But I weirdly, my body felt good. I was just, like, thirsty and frustrated, but, like, I was like, "I'm still feeling quick, like, I'm running well." But I was getting scared because 'cause I'm like, "I'm not doing I'm these are the mistakes that get get to you,
Mhm.
they catch up." So, anyway, continue on, and I meet my crew at mile 60.
Okay, okay, so you saw them about 10 so were you planning on seeing them then, or
Yes,
okay.
yes, and I'm trying to remember how that went. Just great, like, I was so happy to see them, obviously,
Mhm.
got some good food down, just made better decisions, right? Because
Uh-huh.
I think when they weren't there and I had anticipated I was also expecting people to help me make decisions at that point,
I get that,
and
yeah.
then when they weren't there, it was like I wasn't even prepared to make my own decisions, and
Yeah. Yeah,
it was a disaster.
I get that. I don't think it's hard. It particularly if you hadn't been eating and, like, that fuel is for the brain too. So, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I think and obviously, that was a good 15, 20 miles of, like, poor decisions, no water,
Yeah. But then
um
it sounds like you turned a corner at mile 60 maybe with your crew and getting to see
yeah,
them
and
and
then I was like, "Okay, like, maybe I can kind of correct this, get back on track." I still didn't have my watch, now I'm heading into the night. I leave them, and, I had to cross the San Jacinto River, which was really cool, but I was supposed to meet them on the other side, and because I didn't have my watch, it didn't the trail had, the trailheads came off of the trail, and
okay.
so I missed turning off to the trailhead, and I just kept going. So I missed them there. So again,
Oh,
no
okay.
water. Then I didn't even have water, and no nutrition. I had planned on changing my shoes and socks because I was all wet. Did
Uh-huh.
not.
Yeah.
And then I head into, like, the trailhead between 13 and 14. Now it's, like, late at night, it's dark, and this section of the trail looked like bombs had been dropped on it. Like, the
Oh,
trees were
Lord.
just torn up, and I was like I got to a point where, like, I was standing in, like, this mess, and this is, like, climbing over trees and, like,
Oh,
scrambling along.
wow.
I'm suddenly standing in this mess, and I'm like, "I'm not on trail, and I don't know where I am. I don't know where the trail is." Like, I am off trail in the
Ugh.
dark with not any way to, like, fix that.
Okay, well,
So,
what did you do?
I kind of, like, tried to retrace my steps. I wound up getting back on trail, and I was like, "Okay, I can't leave this spot until I know where the next spot is. Like, I need to stand here with my flashlight and, like, find something down the trail and then go." So,
Okay.
all these things are just slowing me down,
Yeah.
and it's just like, ugh, getting frustrating. After s so 13 to 14 was really difficult, very messy trail. At 14, it gets more popular again, the trail does,
Okay.
and there's a section where, like, lots of trails are coming off of the main trail just for other loops and hikes, and I got off on one of them and
Oh,
went a
okay.
couple miles just on some random loop
A
to
couple
nowhere.
miles? Oh, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I had to go back 'cause I'm like, "Well, I have to go back to where I got off. I can't just, like, complete this loop and, like,
Yeah,
keep
right,
going."
right.
So anyway, just, like, a couple mishaps.
Yeah. Well, so did
Um,
how did you know you were off trail? What did you have your were you looking at your watch navigation again, or how did you know? You just had an
so
idea.
I didn't have my watch ever since. I just, like, put it in my belt, and I was like, "I'm not gonna touch it," because what happened, this is, like, me not knowing what happened. It had, like, zoomed out. So I could see it had, like,
Oh.
the trail, but,
Uh-huh.
like, I could see the entire trail. It wasn't guiding me, and I
Oh, okay.
couldn't get it.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I have I have a Koros, and for that, I have to, like you have to, like, click it, and then you have to, like, rotate, and then but if you yeah, I don't know, it's definitely, like, you have to yeah, but I don't that's yeah, that doesn't sound very helpful. So
Right, so I'm just looking at, like, this little circle,
right.
but so I just kinda stuffed it away,
Yeah.
more for, like, keeping time at this point than, like,
Yeah.
helping me.
Yeah.
So I'd gotten out my phone a few times and, like, there was very little reception. Like, if you tried to make a call, it would drop it. Like, there was
Okay.
no but a couple times, like, I knew that I had been at this trailhead that had these different options, and the markers had changed on the trees, and I was like, "These are not the right markers." And so I went
Oh,
back
okay, good for
and
you. You were mentally,
yeah,
like, with
I
it
went
enough.
back, and it was actually really clear where I was supposed to go, and
Okay.
I missed it.
Okay, okay.
So, anyway, yeah, I got to mile so the it's a 96.4-mile trail, which is amazing.
Okay.
I like those
Yeah,
last
that's
miles on
amazing.
100. Yeah. So I got to,
Yeah.
trailhead 14 is, like, mile 90, and then you have 6 more miles to go, and my crew
Okay.
was at that second to the last one, and they kinda cheered me up and got me
Okay.
heading in the right direction
Oh, awesome. Uh-huh.
and then made it the rest of the way, but it was definitely, like
Were
there
you
were
so how
des
are you feeling at that point?
terrible.
How are
Like,
you feeling at that point?
yeah, I was doing really poorly. I have never thrown up except for the Houston Marathon, and I couldn't keep anything down. I would try, and I would be so proud of myself. I'm like, "Oh, I
Okay.
ate an applesauce," and I was really proud of myself, and then, like, 10 minutes later, I would just throw it up. And so, like, nothing was staying down.
Okay. Okay.
I was just
Were
running
you
on
feeling
fumes.
like when you got to that mile when you got to that, uh, trailhead 14, so 6 miles to go, did you feel like that, like that excitement of like, "Oh my gosh, I can actually like, I'm actually almost there now." Like, did you feel that?
Yeah, I did. I also felt desperate. I'm like, I don't know if I can keep going on like this. Like, I'm throwing up.
Yeah. Okay.
Really. I felt this desperation. I'm just like, I've gotta hurry and finish this because I'm not gonna be able to keep going. And I was just
Yeah.
sick and
Mhm.
tired of being lost. I was sick and tired of, like, not being able to
Mhm.
help myself. I started
Mhm.
counting to 100, and I would only let myself count to 100 if I was running, and that it was, like, my prize to
Oh,
make it to
okay.
100. Like, it was like this little reward, like, I counted to
Yeah.
100, and then I could walk for a few steps if I wanted to, but then, like, I couldn't start counting to 100 again unless I ran. Like, what like, this was this
Wow,
game I was
yeah,
playing
that's
with myself,
amazing.
you know? And
Yeah.
that kinda got me through the
That's
last 6
that's great.
miles.
I mean, I like that game. That is a very, cheap, game. It doesn't take anything other than your own brain for that. I love that.
I know, but the reward is like, "Yay, you counted to 100."
Yeah. I mean, sometimes the little things, whatever it takes, so that's wait, so so, yeah, you're just trying to get to the end. You're in kind of a spot where you're like, this is not sustainable. Okay, and then but then, not to spoil it, but you do get there.
I did it.
What does that feel like? I mean, that was a huge accomplishment. Yeah, what did it feel like to finish right at that moment?
Trail was also so weird.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mention this, but there was a fire, and I was at one point, like, running over embers, and I was like,
Wait, like an active
"Uh-oh,"
fire?
like a forest fire, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a forest fire here," and it was by this primitive campground, and I'm like, "Wow, like, maybe somebody was camping there, and they had a
Oh,
fire, and it's gotten out of control." So I'm, like, calling my crew, telling them, like, "Hey, I think we need to call this into the fire department because, like, this whole place could go up, and we're out here trying to run," like, there's people out here.
yeah.
So they
Right,
wind
right.
up so it's, like, 10 minutes later, and I hear these sirens. I can hear the fire trucks, and it sounds like they're behind because I kept running. So this is behind me now, and it sounds like these fire trucks are behind me, and I was like, "Okay, great, they'll figure it out." Off I go.
Right.
At one point, I get service again, and, honestly, my friends and I, we'd call each other, like, 10 times, and, like, it would just drop, drop, drop. But it got through, and they're like, "Hey, well, the fire crew is with us," and they were up in front of me, and I was like, "What do you mean the fire
Mhm.
crew? Like, they're why don't they go to the primitive site where this is happening?" And they're like, "Well, they wanted to ask you some questions," and I was like, "But you guys are in front of me, why am I hearing them behind me?" And the trail was like that the whole time, like, you could hear things, but it was like, "Wait, like, where is this coming from?" Like, the
Oh, wow.
firemen were, like, hollering, like, I'd hear somebody go, "Hoo, hoo," like, shouting, and it would sound like they're behind me, but they were in front of me, and it's like, I don't know what was going on, but things would get really turned around. So even as I'm
Wow.
finishing, I it's like I did not know I was finishing and that, like, my crew was there and Regina was there and, like, this was the end until, like, the last 10
Yeah.
steps. Like, it's just, like, this forest is so mysterious. I don't
Wow.
know. Like, there's no indication, like, you couldn't hear anything or, like so you just kind of it added to this sense of, like, being lost and also, like, this sense of
Yeah.
desperation, like, "Get me out of here."
Right. Oh my
So,
gosh.
yeah, so it was, like, probably once I realized, "Okay, that's the trailhead, I'm almost done." I had, like, 10 more steps, and so it was, like, a weird
Yeah.
celebration of, like, "Ah, like, get me out of here," and I'm here.
Wow, that's wild, and then did you have to go answering questions then from the fire department?
Oh, well, so that's back. Yeah, that was back before the end. And yeah, there was like 3 fire trucks pulled down this fire service road.
Wow.
There was like, I don't know, 20 firemen, and they just asked me some questions about it. They said there'd been some controlled burning or like prescribed
Uh-huh.
burning out there, and I was like, it did look kind of under control, like oddly because
But could you see flames? I mean, you saw embers,
yes,
so,
yes, and I was
like,
yeah, so I
it
was
seems
like
like they wouldn't normally do that with people there, but I don't know.
or like they would know that they were doing it, like, why you don't know where you're prescribed burning? is happening? Like, if somebody did call in and report, like, "Hey,
Uh-huh.
there's this burn going on," they would be like, "Oh, yeah, well, that's this." But,
Right,
I
right.
guess they didn't. It did seem
Hmm.
kind of weirdly under control, so I was like, "Yeah, it definitely could have been prescribed burning," but, like, wouldn't you have somebody out there, like,
Yeah.
managing it?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's I think that would be yeah, like, stressful and, like, you're like I would have had a thought of, like, "Am I actually seeing this? Like, am I, like" because you're very fuel deprived, you're all this stuff and, like, feeling, like, very, like, kinda stressed out about that, but it sounds like, you just kept trugging along and then, yeah, I mean, you basically, you know you finally yeah, you see you're at towards the finish and you're like and then you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm finally here," but not accepting it a moment earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Which I think, like, in races, you know where you're at, like,
Uh-huh.
there's signs or there's markers
Yeah.
or people are telling you or,
Yeah, it's
it's
very
very
different.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
like,
that was
'cause
super.
I know you're yeah, you're planning to do, habanero again this year, so hopefully,
Mhm.
you'll know where you are.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it's a 6-mile lake, so
yeah.
it's like, you know where you are the whole time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
but that
so,
was a lot different.
you finished, and what was your finish time?
So I finished in 20 hours and I think, like, 1 minute? 20 hours and 1
You
minute?
couldn't have gone 1 minute faster. I'm just kidding.
I know, or I think, like, as I was, like, trying to turn off my watch, like, the seconds were taking me to the next minute, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh, okay,
hey."
yeah.
But,
Wow.
which is 2 hours so Regina's record was 22 hours and 18 minutes, I think, something like
Okay,
that.
you got over 2 hours. That's a
Yeah.
huge gain.
Yeah, yeah, so it was a good chunk off the record, which was fun, and Regina was there.
Yeah.
I mean, how incredible of her just
Oh,
to,
yeah.
like,
I mean,
be
she
this
obviously
person.
wanted people to yeah, to tackle it. I mean, that's really
Yeah,
cool.
which I feel like is such an FKT vibe, like,
Yeah.
people want, like, to keep this, like, the route, like, honor this route and, like, be out there on it and go for it. It's like the AT, like, there's always somebody, like, trying to, like or talking about it,
Yeah.
talking about it or doing it because it's a cool route, and so I just thought Regina is just that was amazing of her to, like, put it all together, offer that support, be there from start to finish, like, just such a
Wow.
cool effort by her.
That is so neat. And yeah, like, what a cool idea. I know that's doesn't always work depending on how, like, I don't know how permitting works or whatever she had or if it's small enough, it doesn't matter, but, like, what a cool thing of, like I wonder if more things like this could happen where, yeah, they yeah, someone who has some experience on it, like the AT, but, like, there's a lot of FKTs around, like, you know, maybe there's some cool event, like, yeah, if you limit it to 20 people, but then you provide little support, like, that could be a really cool way to introduce people to FKT and earn their hat. So,
She 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 did keep it small for, like, just regulations on the trail, but also, like, she kind of wanted to, like, have a little toe into, like, race directing, like, I think
yeah,
it was a learning experience for her too and one that she wanted to tackle, and
yeah,
so I think that that's kind of a cool way too, like, maybe it's not as overwhelming as, putting on a full-blown thing, and you can kinda just do this little smaller effort, but still just, like,
yeah.
have a really cool experience, just give to other people and, like, let them have an experience out there as well, so I just think, like, she did an amazing job. There was other volunteers that were out there, like, with shuttling and helping at the little, aid stations and things like that, that just were
Yeah,
amazing, like, great people who came out and just helped, so it was
it's
pretty sweet.
amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, last question for now, because I feel like we're probably should wrap up. Seems like,
Yes.
and okay, so what are your immediate like takeaway lessons that you want? Yeah, that you want to take away to your next event, training, anything like that that you got from like this effort specifically.
Okay. Well, Let's takeaway 'cause I'm getting feedback from my people. 'Cause I talked too much. Um, Takeaway, I guess if you're in a similar race where you do have drop bags, where you do have some control over your support, because it's different than a race that provides you a bunch of options where, like, that you can eat,
Totally.
like, a lot of aid stations, they have, like, I don't know, 20 different options for you to eat, and I really thought through what I wanted to put in for myself. I thought I was giving myself options, but, like, in most races, like, there's just a point you get to where you're sick and you're
Yeah.
not keeping things down, and, I did have a couple of those goo I don't know what they are, they're very liquidy. Do you know what
Just the
it's
Goo liquids?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, the more liquidy and just, like, something you can get down your throat quick,
Mhm.
it's like after mile 80, that's what I want, just, like, something that I can just swallow and be done with, and
Yeah.
no sort of chewing, none of that, and so, I think I could have done better with giving myself a few more options. I mean, it's problem solving, I had problems on the course, and I didn't
Maybe carrying some
solve
caffeine, it sounds like.
caffeine in every bag
Mhm.
from here until
Yeah.
I die until the end of my
Well,
life,
I
there will be
always even
caffeine.
just, like, start with caffeine in my like, even if I don't think I'll touch it for, like,
Yeah.
4, 6
Maybe
hours,
just
just
one of
have
those
some.
things, yeah, and I have a few things, like, I always keep a light on me and some chapstick because 'cause I'm so paranoid about those 2 things, but, like, a little caffeine tablet as well. Just, like, have that little bag of, like, I don't go anywhere on the trail without this.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, adding caffeine, adding just maybe another option or 2, a couple that are just super simple to get down, and then just continue to improve my problem solving skills, like, I kinda made some of my own problems, um, and, when my crew wasn't there where when I was hoping they were, like, I gotta do better. I gotta do better at, like, taking care of myself and maybe, like, in that pre-planning, when I say, "Okay, then crew's gonna be here and crew's gonna be there," have in the back of my mind, "And if they're not,
Yeah.
here's what I'm gonna do," you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, one thing I was thinking of when you were telling me about that is, like, it's a good thing you were able to talk to them because they might have just waited for you there, not known to be at the next one, so that was good thinking also. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is so exciting, and, I mean, what a huge effort. I mean, 20 hours and taking the FKT on the Lone Star Trail, like, that's amazing, Kelly.
Yeah, it's fun. Just I
Yeah.
for sure, it's cool trail, so,
That's awesome.
yeah,
Well, more people go check it out, go to some of the trailheads and, doing a section of it sounds like it's definitely worth, a day to explore. So,
for sure. Moving on to be back with some more chat about trail to come.
that sounds great. I can't wait.
Alright.
Alright.
Yay.